Hey everybody, it's Kenji from Riichi Mahjong Central. It's been a while, I apologize, but there's a reason for that. So in this video, I'm going to explain, some of the stuff that I was doing since our last video and two big announcements. So watch until the end. I'll try to wrap it up short. Let's dive right in. So first off, what was I doing since our last Riichi strategy video? Obviously, I was filming the rest. There's 2 or 3 more videos left. I'm going to wrap that up. So I was doing that. Also, I went to Japan to participate in the Ryuosen, hosted by the Saikōisen Nihon Pro Mahjong Kyokai. It is a format, 2 days for the main matches until you go into the next round. So yeah, I was participating in that one. La Pomme down in SoCal has an invitational special ticket where you could participate starting from the main matches, right? Everybody in Japan, pros, amateurs, it's an open event. Anyone could participate. But there is a prelim qualifier that you would have to win, right? Multiple times. It's harder to go that route. But luckily for me, I was invited. I was able to participate starting from the main matches. So day one, I wish I could have filmed everything to show you guys how it's like, but no cameras allowed. But day one, 3 hanchans, right? 3 rounds. Each round you would compete with the same players, same 4 players, and 2 hanchans. Whoever has the most points, top two players from each round would go into the next round, right? So round 1, I played against 2 pros, one from RMU and one from CRMA, one from JPML, and another player that was invited to participate. I was top 2, right? I was second place in that one, so I was able to go to round 2. Round 2, I played against one of the pros from Saikōisen, one of the pros from Majang Rengo, and another invited player, if I remember right, yeah. And luckily, I won that one. So I went to round 3. So that was the last round for the day. If I won that one, I was able to go to round 4 and 5, where it'll change from 2 hanchans to 3 hanchans. And round 3 is when some of the seeded players, pretty much pro players, come in. So it's got a little harder. But round 3, hanchan 1, I actually took first place. I was like, wow, okay, so usually if you play defensively, if you play safe, you usually get past it. But unfortunately, some of the players I was up against Arai Kebun from Saikōisen. I was up against Furuhashi-san from CRMA. And the third player, funny thing, is the same CRMA player that I was with round 1. I took third in second game of round 3. Wasn't enough. The total points wasn't enough. So that's where I lost. If you guys follow me on Twitter, now known as X, I gave some of the updates there. Thank you everybody who cheered me on during the Ryuosen for this year. But it was a great experience. Want to go back. It was a great experience. A lot of fun. Great experience. But yeah, that's what I was doing. Also, I went there for some meeting stuff. That's going to be connecting to the first big announcement I have. But before that, what I was doing, I also went to the CRMA, California Riichi Mahjong Alliance, was hosted, what was it, last month? Yeah, was hosted then. What is it? I probably explained this in a previous video, but top 8 players from Southern California, top 8 players from Northern California. Each club will determine how to provide their top 8, whether it be through a league, whether it be through a tournament. Leave it up to the clubs. But pretty much top 8 from both North and Southern California would meet up, taking turns hosting the event, and went as a finalist, but I lost in the semifinals. It was pretty fun. A lot of heated matches. And again, thank you B-Chen from PML for hosting this year's. And huge congratulations to Matthew, who is this year's CRMA champion. Yeah, he's pretty strong. I'm going to be playing with him a lot from this point on in various situations. Congratulations to Matthew. And let's go ahead and segue over to big announcement number 1. So as mentioned earlier, I went to Japan, had the Ryosen stuff going on, of course, was talking with some of the pros. But the second main thing why I went there was to finalize some of the details for the 3rd World Wellness Mahjong Open. What is the World Wellness Mahjong Open? If you guys watched some of our previous videos, 1 and 2, the first and second one was held in Chengdu, China. Finalize some of the details. The president of the Japan Kenko Mahjong Association said, "Hey Kenji, would you be interested in hosting the 3rd one in the US?" Why not, right? So we finalized the date. It will be on August 24th and 25th of 2024 here in California, Gardena, California to be exact. That date might ring a little bell for some of you guys. This year, I know because next year WRC is going to be in Japan, a bunch of tournaments. This might be the most amount of tournaments I've personally seen hosted here in the US. Everyone's competing for the WRC ticket points to go into the qualifier. And the World Wellness Mahjong Open, because it's not WRC rule sets, this will be based off of the World Wellness Mahjong Smart Rule, and more info on that later. I didn't apply for it to be a qualifier, right? Obviously. It's going to be on the week, I think, before North American Open, which is going to be hosted at PML, or PML is going to be hosting, but it's going to be at a different venue. So as much as I wanted the date to be changed, I couldn't, right? Japan plays a pretty big factor in this. So fortunately, I wasn't able to convince them the date-wise, but yeah, it will be on August 24th and 25th, Saturday and Sunday of this year. Rule sets, as I explained, will be the SMART rule. What is the SMART rule? Quick recap, no foo, right? So simplified foo calculations. Everything else is pretty much Riichi. It's the same thing, pretty much, for the most part, except for maybe 1 or 2 different things. For this specific one, similar to what we did to the 2nd World Wellness Mahjong Open, Ping Fu will be worth 2 Han instead of 1. Why is that? Well, first off, one of the core founders always said that, Ping Fu is actually harder than what people think. So it should be worth more than 1 Han. That's reason 1. Reason 2, past few years, the world wars have been happening. And the president of Japan Kenko Mahjong Association said, if Mahjong was more popular, if everyone played Mahjong, the world will be a more peaceful place, right? And the word peace, if you spell it out in Chinese and or Japanese characters, it literally spells out to Ping Fu. So world peace, Ping Fu is harder than what it is. Boom, put it together, let's make it 2 Han. So this is a special modified set. Well, I guess it's a Han value thing, but yeah, that's going to be different. So I will be making another video on the World Wellness Mahjong Smart Rule, what it is, so you guys could get prepared. And what else? Who's participating, right? We're going to have 40 or 44 players bracket ready for us players here in the US. That's 1. We're going to have several people coming from China. Team China is going to be coming. And we have players from Japan coming. And the players from Japan, pretty much the same players I would expect from the past 2 events, with the exceptions of more pros. Yosuke Ide sensei, if you guys don't know, is one of the OG original pro players from Japan, who recently announced that, I think mid-next February of 2025, he's planning to retire as a pro player. So this will probably be his last time competing as a pro in the US, unless there's some other event that would come up. But that's just an FYI. Kind of his background, aside from him being one of the OG players, he is also, or was also, a Saikoi Sen president, was also a former Japan Kenko Mahjong Association president, was also a former Mahjong Rengo, or MU, president, who he currently is as a GM. He's there as a general manager right now. But yeah, very popular. Also graduated from Tokyo University, arguably the highest ranked university in Japan. Yeah, so he's going to be there. That's one. I have several of his books. It's used, but I don't read it anymore. So if you guys want players who are coming, first come, first serve. But I could give the books to you, and you could have it signed by him. Who knows? But he will be there. Player number 2, or I guess everybody else right now that's confirmed is from Saiko Isen, but the two, one is a former Saiko Isen, current M-League main judge, Cho-san. Toshimasa Cho will be coming to the third World Wellness Mahjong Open. Excited to see him again. Every time I go back to Japan, I hit him up, and he always treats me around. So this time I could invite him over and kind of return some of the gratitude. Aside from that, Tomozoe Pro, you might know him, the Afro guy from Saiko Isen. He was also in the finals for the EX Furin Kazan audition. Tomozoe Pro, one of my favorite players from Saiko Isen, will be coming as well. We have several other pros who said they're interested. Not confirmed as of now, but it'll be a fun event. It'll be a fun event for sure. Once again, the dates will semi-conflicting with the North American Open, but if you guys can't make that one, but could come to this one, great. If you could spend an extra week here in California and participate in both, great. We'll love to see you. But if you have to choose one, and because of the WRC situation, if you want to choose North American Open, I totally understand. Don't worry about it. But I hope to see many of you there. Link to the sign up will be down below. And all the info, again, the details on the rules and all that stuff, I will upload another video regarding that. So that is announcement number 1. Announcement number 2. How should I put this? I am now a pro Mahjong player. I am now under the banner of the Saiko Isen Nihon Pro Mahjong Kyokai. I took the test. I passed. I finished the new player orientation, and that is the second big announcement. I, Kenji, with Riichi Mahjong Central, am also now with the Saiko Isen Nihon Pro Mahjong Kyokai. There's a lot of things planned as a pro right now, right? Obviously, just because I passed doesn't mean that I'm the best right now. So being a pro right now means that I have the basic level knowledge that Saiko Isen has as, of being a pro. I passed the test. And then from this point on, what am I going to do? There's a lot of things that I'm planning to do. And also, I'm not the only one that passed here in the US. We have 5 players in total, okay? Which I'm planning to make a video regarding that in the very near future. Who the players are, what we're planning to do, and yada, 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 and all that stuff, right? There's a lot of things that we have planned. It's in the works, right? We're talking with them constantly. It's like, hey, can we do this? We want to do this. And even stuff that they're saying, they say, hey, can you guys do this for us? A lot of things in the works. But obviously we can't talk about it just yet unless it's finalized. But I guarantee you there's going to be a lot of stuff happening this year and going on next year and this point on. So yeah, I'm now a pro Mahjong player. It's been a dream of mine. Wasn't expecting it to be until I started talking with some of the pros, what their mindset is, right? Not just being a player, but what they do for the community as a professional player. So after talking with them so many times, I was like, you know what? I think I want to be that, right? I want to help. I want to put my effort on top of all the other things that I'm doing with Saiko Isen. And some people might say, why Saiko Isen? Well, the simple answer is a lot of the pro players that I like are from Saiko Isen. That's pretty much it. Rule sets, right? That's another thing. Rule sets, each pro organization has their own rule sets. It comes down to preference. You could choose your organization based off of that. I simply chose who has the most players that I like, right? And then, there's other organizations where, because of the limitations, like the requirements to get in, I don't qualify. So there's a lot of things that came into play. And hopefully would be able to announce all the details, the plans that we have for us here in the US very soon. So that's pretty much it. Thank you for sticking around until the end. Third World Wellness Mahjong Open. Hope to see you there. And keep an eye out on more announcements and information from Kenji with Riichi Mahjong Central and Kenji from Saikoi-sen Nihon Pro Mahjong Kyokai. As always, keep on reaching.